Hey there everyone, what is going on? I hope you are doing extremely well. We are doing yet another cleaning video today. Today is all about those single action revolvers. In our case, it's going to be a Heritage Rough Rider chambered in 22 WMR. So, everything is set up and ready to go. Let's get to it. Alright, as usual, we are going to need a nice surface for our parts and our gun to sit on, albeit a dirty one. I've got to wash this thing. But don't forget, this is linked in the description below. Check it out if you'd like one. They are wonderful little neoprene mats. Got our standard cleaning kit here. All of our lovely brushes, bristles, extensions, pokey things. I honestly don't even know what these are. Yeah, all that's there. And we've got our Hoppe's Elite gun cleaner and gun oil. Always necessary. You don't have to use the Hoppe's. There are many wonderful products out there. This is just what I have, and this is what I use. And as always, I have got a bunch of 30 cal patches. Find them easy to work with, easy to run through barrels. Blue shop towels are also very nice most of the time. And other than that, well, I don't think we're missing anything. Oh! Probably need a gun. Boom. So today we are going to be taking down and cleaning the Heritage Arms Rough Rider. This is a 22 long rifle, 22 WMR single action revolver. So first things first, as always, let's make sure that this bad boy is in fact unloaded. Oh look, it's not. So one cool thing about this revolver is it does have a safety, so when you're unloading it, you don't have to really worry about accidentally discharging any rounds. So that's cool. Now the nice thing about a single action revolver over even a double action like we have done previously is the fact that you don't have to rotate the cylinder out and then, you know, deal with little creases and all sorts of little stuff in there that you have to find a way to clean tiny parts. You can actually just drop the entire cylinder out of the gun quite simply. In the case of the Heritage Rough Rider, we're going to go to that same half cock that we did to rotate. We're going to open our loading door, depress the cylinder pin retainer, and pull the cylinder pin straight out. That's it right there. And then our cylinder is just going to drop straight out of the gun into our hand. Look at that. It is empty. We are actually going to start the cleaning just with the small stuff here by spraying it down like we always do, and then we will start working on the frame of the gun a little bit. So the back side of your cylinder here is going to be pretty dirty. I guarantee it. It's gonna be pretty dirty, but not nearly as bad as the front side because this is where the cylinder gap is. So this is where all your gases are actually coming out of the cylinder chambers and going into your barrel. So spritz away. Don't worry about getting a bunch of it inside. It's not a big deal. We're gonna clean it all out anyway. And on the exterior, really that should be relatively clean. If there's anything there, it's just going to be dirt anyway, so we're not so worried about that. I'm going to set that on a patch, and we are going to do the same for our retaining pin here. This shouldn't be too bad, actually. The retaining pin should not be too bad. I'll let that soak for a minute, but really what should be on there is a little bit of dirt, not too much powder, not too much anything like that. Alright, so our hot spots here are going to be at the breech here where the cylinder meets the barrel, and at the back side here you can see there's a perfectly lovely little circle right there where the firing, just below the firing pin, where the firing pin is actually smacking into those rounds. So there's a little bit of cleaning that can be done there. Oil wise, I'm going to put one little drop down here in my hammer area there, and then one little drop down here as well where the trigger linkage and everything like that is. I mean, it's a single action revolver. It's a pretty simple piece of machinery, but of course we do want to make sure it's clean and keep it running smoothly because you do not want to hear a click when you expected to hear a bang. So we're going to take some cleaner and we're going to spritz all over here and then all over the back side here. And the barrel is pretty junky. Can we? Oh, yeah, look at that. It worked. So as you can see a little bit down there, it's pretty grainy. There's a lot of excess powder, unburned powder, a little bit of residue, all sorts of fun junk down there that we don't want down there. We want a clear and clean barrel. So we are going to make sure it is so. Spritz right down the barrel. There we go. Let that sit for just a minute here. And let's get working on this cylinder. Now you can see the cleaner has actually already shined it up pretty darn well. It's not too bad, which is always nice. So we're just gonna. Okay, I lied. It's bad. It's gross. Yuck. We're just gonna get along the surface here, along the outside, get any visible junk off of there. Okay, yeah, this needed some love for sure. There we go. And don't forget this little center area here. The entire rotation of your cylinder is, dependent upon this moving properly. So if this gets too gummed up and you stop getting that free movement, you're gonna have a bad time. Give it a quick in and out. All the way in, all the way out. And one more time. Yeah. I'm using the rough bristles just so I can get anything that's not supposed to be in there, get it loosened up and get it out. And then I'm just going to pass through my little 22 soft brush here. Clean up anything else, and ooh, that is shiny and beautiful. So we're actually going to do exactly the same thing to each of the chambers of the cylinder here. That is looking really, really nice. Nice and shiny, nice and clean. So now we just have to worry about this very, very scored backside. Give it another little spritz with our cleaner here. And we're gonna see just how shiny we can make it. So I don't think we're going to get this quite as shiny just because it does have wear on it. I actually do shoot this thing a lot. It's kind of a really fun gun to shoot. So it does have wear on it, but as long as it doesn't have any buildup, you can feel around with your finger, and if you're feeling grit or anything like that, you may need to just let it sit in the cleaner a little bit longer. But this is completely smooth. The discoloration and stuff here, that's not buildup. That's not carbon scoring. That's just wear and tear, because like I said, it's fun to shoot, so I do it a lot. Alright, so I'm going to call that good on the cylinder. And the retention pin here, this should also be a very, very simple piece to clean. More or less just one solid piece of metal. And it's not even too dirty, as is more or less expected. I really didn't expect it to be too terrible. Alright, moving over to the frame of the pistol. Okay, on the interior here, I can see actually now that a lot of the junk has been loosened up. Let's see if we can actually see that. It's so dark. A lot of the junk that was around the breech here has actually been cleaned up, so that's good. And you can see it's a little dirty in there for sure. And I'm going to use the brush, probably the tiny side of the brush, just to get above the barrel, because it's not really somewhere that I can reach easily with a cloth. Give it a good loosen all that up. Yeah, so this isn't nearly as dirty as I thought it was. More of what's on here is just wear than it is, than it is actual gunpowder or carbon buildup or anything like that. Last but not least here, we are going to get this lovely back portion where our firing pin is. And that actually is a really nasty, dirty area. And yeah, we're in pretty decent shape here. One area that I do want to get in on is right in this gap here, and that is where the little rotating lever comes up when you cock the hammer. That's what rotates your cylinder, and just behind it there, it's looking real nasty. So I'm gonna get the tiny brush here and just kind of get in there and twirl it around a little bit, just kind of see what I can loosen up and get out of there. I haven't actually had a single issue with this gun, never had a misfire, never had my cylinder lock up or anything crazy like that, but you know, it's good to take preventative measures even if you haven't seen issues in the past. Well, with that area cleaned out, I am gonna pop a couple of drops of oil in here. Nothing too crazy. As always, we're gonna go pretty easy on it. So I'm gonna go one drop in there where I just showed you where the lever comes up. I'm gonna actuate that a few times, move it around in there. Okay, and one down here in the trigger linkage. One drop, one singular tiny drop. There we go. Move it around in there a little bit, and we should be good on oil. And of course, before we reassemble, we have to clean our barrel. We already sprayed some cleaner down it a little while ago, so we're first just going to run our bristle brush down it, loosen anything up that is still present in the barrel. And as with the, as with the previous revolver, coming in from the chamber is really not much of an option here, so we can just come in from the end of the barrel and push everything into this area. It's okay. It's just gonna kind of, you know, go over the back. We'll just give it a quick wipe afterwards. If anything major comes out of it, just in and out, you know, a couple times. Your rod here is gonna spin. And that's perfectly normal. It's actually meant to free spin, so it doesn't get caught up in the rifling or the rotation of the actual bristle brush itself. And now that we have loosened everything up that we needed to, just going to grab that handy dandy soft brush one more time, do the same motion, down the barrel, out, down the barrel and out. Alright, as you can see, this was dirty before, but it's much dirtier now, so it is a good thing that we did that. In fact, I am actually kind of wanting to run a patch down, not just the soft brush, so not try to stuff all of it through simultaneously. That actually worked quite nicely. So we've got it coming out once, twice, 3 times a lady. So not too terrible actually on the barrel cleanliness there, so I am happy about that. And now we can start reassembling because we are good to go. So to reassemble here our very complicated firearm, make sure that your hammer is at a half cock, pop your loading door open, make sure that the little flower petals here, the nice little chunky part there, is at the back. Kind of roll it in. Easiest way to do this is to line one of the chambers on the cylinder up with the barrel. You'll kind of hear it snap into place. You can close your loading door. Take your retaining pin here, drop it in the front. You're going to want to depress the spring-loaded retaining pin, and that will allow it to go in until it snaps. And now you should be able to rotate your cylinder quite freely, and if you tug on the front here at all, this should move a little bit, but it shouldn't actually come out. So as long as all those things are true, you now have a wonderfully cleaned and fully operational single action revolver. So there it is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This was even easier than our other revolver was, just because you can pop that cylinder out, take care of that separately. There's fewer little nooks and crannies to get into, and that makes cleaning your gun extremely simple. So single action revolvers, excellent, wonderful to clean, wonderful to shoot. So don't forget, if you do like this kind of content, which I'm sure you do, you seem like a cool person and all, you should definitely hit that sub button down below if you haven't already. We just went over 350. Thank you to each and every one of you. That's amazing. Little bell next to it is going to let you know when the next video comes out. That is once every 2 weeks. Got a bunch more stuff coming up, so you can look forward to that. And leave me a comment down below. What kind of single action revolver do you have? Or if you want one, what kind do you want? Let me know, and I always respond to every single comment. I make a point of it. I'm small enough that I can continue to do that. So thank you all once again. I will see you in the next one. You have a wonderful day.